Hello and welcome to today's podcast. I'm back from Yarndale, which was absolutely fabulous. Loved it. I was a bit down about doing a show last week. I don't know, I can't remember exactly what I said in the podcast last week, but I think I probably came across as a bit down and a bit worried that it wasn't going to go well. Based on Wonderwall in April this year, which sales were down. I know there's more to shows than sales, but sales are important because shows are a huge amount of work. Well, Yarndale was a lot better in terms of sales than Wonderwall. And I just spoke to so many people, um, lovely conversations with customers, people who stop by and say hello, people who are watching this channel. So if you stop by and say hello to me, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It was really lovely to see you all. But lovely knitters in my workshop, and we stayed with some friends and we just had a really lovely time. So I'm going to tell you a bit about that. I am going to tell you what I've finished knitting and the progress on my other stuff. I'm about to cast on something new today. I might cast on 2 new projects today. I haven't decided yet. I did buy something at Yarndale and I do have some new yarn to show you as well. And I have a new magazine design to show you. So lots and lots to get on with in today's episode. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns, I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through our website yarnaddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Subscribing, commenting, thumbs up, all that kind of stuff really helps to get my channel seen by lots of other people. It is now Vlogtober, which is a big thing on YouTube. Some people vlog every day in October and post videos every day. I'm not going to do that because that's just too much. But I am trying to film a little bit most days. So my first Vlogtober video went live on Tuesday. And it was basically talking about Yarndale, how it went. And I shared about an 8-minute video from Yarndale. I shared what my store looked like at Yarndale. And also we've been staying with some friends in Lancashire. And yarn shows in Yorkshire. We stayed with friends in Lancashire, literally like 4 minutes drive from the Yorkshire-Lancashire border. And we went out on Friday morning to a place called Farfield Mill in Cumbria. So we were right on the Cumbria, Lancashire, Yorkshire border. And I showed a clip from that and talked about that in Tuesday's Vlogtober video as well. So I'm not going to share any video footage from Yarndale in this video because it'll make it too long. If you want to hear more about Yarndale and see Yarndale then and Farfield Mill, then go and check out Tuesday's Vlogtober video. I'm going to share what I bought at Yarndale. I think I shared it on Tuesday as well, but I'm going to share it today as well. And I'm going to share what I've been knitting, which I did not talk about on Tuesday because I've saved that for today. And then so the way Vlogtober is going to work is that my plan is to carry on doing the podcast episodes on Thursday. So if you don't like the Vlogtober style videos, you can just watch every Thursday and keep on top of what I'm knitting and everything. And then my plan is to do like a vlog style or some kind of other video on Tuesdays and Saturdays. This is what I did last year and it seemed to work fairly well. So Tuesday's video, as I said, was all by Yarndale, and I tripped north. And for Saturday's video will be this week, the aftermath of Yarndale, unpacking all the yarn, sorting it, counting it, and getting ready for my local wool market on Saturday. So Friday is Wednesday today. Friday I'm teaching at the Knitting Hotel in Dawlish. I will hopefully be able to film a little bit from there if I get time, and it's brioche, so it's quite a full-on workshop, so may not be any filming going on, but I'll try. Also depends on who's there and whether they're happy for me to film and stuff, but I'll try. And then I have the wool market, 3 bags full wool market on Saturday, and because I won't be home till like 6:30 probably on Friday, I'm not going to go and set up on Friday evening. I'm going to have all the stuff ready in the lounge to go, and then hopefully Simon will load the car when I get home, and then he's going to come with me on Saturday morning. It doesn't start till 11, and I only have 2 tables, and what I'm doing is I'm putting all the yarn I'm taking with me in the boxes I'm going to display them in, so I can just slide them into the car, pop them up on the table. After I put my tablecloths on, it'll be a lot easier. So that's the plan, to get there for whenever time they open on Saturday and set up, and then come home Saturday night and probably collapse in a heap on the sofa and watch Strictly Come Dancing. Simon's actually going to to Wales on Saturday evening because Emily, my youngest daughter, is running in the Cardiff half marathon on Sunday, and I have been umming and ahhing about whether to go or not. I'd like to go, but the problem is I'm still recovering from Yarndale. I got a very busy week this week, and I don't know whether we're going to be able to park and how much walking there is, whether it's going to be easy to find places to sit, so I've decided to stay home. I did see her run a half marathon in Cardiff in last winter. It was around the park, and she did like I think 4 laps to make it a half marathon. So I saw her run that, but the good thing about that was that there was an outdoor cafe, and I managed to get a seat there, so I just sat there and watched her run past 4 times, which was perfect. But I'm just worried that it's just going to be too much with everything I've got going on this week, and then I got a really busy week next week as well, with 2 half-day and 1 full-day workshop and a couple other appointments and seeing a friend and some other stuff. So it's just, next month is just going to be crazy. October is really, really busy, which I'm excited about, but it is really, really busy. And looking at my calendar, I'm a bit, but I know I love it, and it energizes me and I get excited about it, especially after a sort of quiet summer. But also I'm looking forward to November when I go to Norway for 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm really excited about everything going on this month, but there is a lot going on this month. So let's get started, because I don't want this to be too long, mainly because I need to get back downstairs and unpack and count and sort yarn so I can get my website updated. So the plan is I'm going to try and get my website back online on Thursday, so by the time this video goes live. I'm hoping I sorted and counted half the yarn yesterday, so I've just got the other half to go today, and that's why my yarn shelves are mostly empty. The stuff that's there is stuff I'm not taking to 3 bags full on Saturday. And then I'm going to update my website, and then what I did last year was at 3 bags full, anything I sold I kind of made a note of, and then when they got quieter I'd updated the website so that I wouldn't sell more than I've got of anything. But it wasn't a problem last year, so that's what I'm going to try and do, rather than do all the updating the website stuff on Sunday. So then on Sunday I can just count what I brought back, double check it, and unpack that and have a quiet day, and that's it. So that's the plan. So before we talk about my knitting, let me just talk about this because it's in my hands. So new issue of Knitting, issue 255, is in the shops today, Thursday, when this is live. That's my design there. I'm going to do a separate video on this. I filmed the video before I sent this design off, where I talked more about it and showed you what it looked like on me, because it's a hat and all that kind of stuff. And then I sent it off. It hasn't come back yet from the magazine. So I'm just going to film after this a little bit of a introduction and showing what the pictures look like in here, and talk a bit more about the magazine. And then I will probably, I might put it out next Tuesday, or I might put it out as like a bonus video on Sunday. Probably Sunday actually. So let me show you the pictures in here. So this is like a double layer hat. It's knitted in Cascade Heritage Silk 4-ply, which is really lovely to knit with, and it's like a double layer hat, and it has lace on one side and stocking stitch on the other side. Now the stocking stitch color I love because it's purple. The lace side color is not my color, but that's fine. It's a little bit small on me anyway. I probably could do with the larger size. But it's a reversible hat. You can have the lace side out, you can have the stocking stitch side out, and you can see wearing a stocking stitch, you can just see the lace peeking out there, and I really like it. And it's a fun hat, small project. The theme for this issue is Weekend Makes, quick fix knits for autumn. So I'm not sure you can knit a hat in a weekend, but certainly these are all relatively small projects that you can easily knit in a short period of time, possibly even in a weekend. So that's in the shops in the UK now. If you want to see more about that, subscribe to the channel and look out for a video, possibly on Sunday. So I've been told by the organizer of the knitting retreat I'm hosting in Italy next April 2025 that the pound to euro exchange rate at the moment is the best it's been since 2016. So if you, because the retreats are priced in euros, if you book now and you live in the UK, you will be getting a cheaper price than you did previously, because of the exchange rate is really good for us living in the UK at the moment. I've noticed this year when I've been in Norway that things are a lot cheaper than they were a couple of years ago, and it's the same with the euros. So if you've been thinking about joining me for my knitting retreat in Italy in April 2025, now is the time to book, especially if you live in the UK, because the exchange rate is really good at the moment. They're also offering 5% off for anyone who books and pays in full before the end of October. So even if you're not in the UK, but you're living somewhere else and you'd like to come, then if you book and pay in full by the end of October, you get 5% off. And so if you live in the UK, it'll make it even cheaper because you'll get the exchange rate benefit plus the 5% off. So if you've been thinking about it, make a decision and go and book it. It's going to be really exciting. I am really looking forward to it. It's a 7-day retreat. Okay, so I'm going to start by something that I actually started last week, but I forgot to share it. I haven't worked on it in the last week, so I haven't got them here, but you know my clutch bags, my Colour Clutch and Glamour Clutch. Glamour Clutch was the #1 best-selling pattern and kit yarn combo at Yarndale. I'll put a picture on the screen because it's downstairs, and it's very, very popular. I thought I'd got more Yatagan Merino cotton, which is what I knitted it in, than last year. I still sold nearly all of it, and if I'd got more, especially of the popular colours, I probably could have sold a lot more, but it was very popular last year and I just wasn't sure they were still going to be that popular this year. So I've just ordered some more yarn. It comes from Denmark, so it'll probably take a couple of weeks to get here, but I will put some kits up on the website as soon as I get the yarn. I also had ordered loads of felt fabric and cut that to, it's cut to like the full size piece, then you have to cut it into the individual 5 pieces you need for the lining. And I put that together with the clutch frames in little kits, and I sold all of that. I have quite a few frames left because last time I ordered loads, but I've sold all the lining, the felt fabric I had, so I'm going to order that as well this week. And then I thought when I cut it on Wednesday when Simon started to load the car, and I put them all in like a carrier bag, and I thought, oh, I probably brought way too much. But yeah, it all sold out, so that was good. Love selling out of stuff. So anyway, I've been thinking for a while I'd like to do a brioche clutch bag. A clutch bag in brioche for Knitting Magazine in the summer, like that. But I'd like to do one which has a little bit fancier pattern on it. So 2 weeks ago, I think it was, I shared that I had this ball from the Discreet Unicorn, which I've had for a while, and then I got this ball from Spectrum Fibre. It's the same base. It's the, have I got the labels in here? I don't know if it, hang on. So it is the same base, I believe, and it is Neon Naps double knit. The one from Spectrum Fibre is called Lilac, and the one from the one from the Discreet Unicorn, so I'm still tired, it's called Barbie Pink, highlighter base DK, Barbie Pink. So I bought this one because I thought it would go really nicely with the pink I already had. And I really liked them together, so I cast them for this a couple of weeks ago. That's the one side, and that's what it looks like on the other side. And I haven't actually worked out the pattern yet, the stitch pattern. I just decided, I worked out the base and I started knitting that, and I really feel like I should actually work out the stitch pattern before I go any further, because I'm worried that I will find I have the wrong stitch count and then I have to rip back. So I'm not going to knit on that till I've worked out the rest of the pattern, which I haven't had time to do. So I forgot to share about that last week, because I hadn't been working on it for a couple of days, and I haven't worked on that since last week. But I thought I would just share it so that you know that that's a project that's on the needles. And then the main project I worked on while we were away was my Regia socks. I think I said last week I wasn't sure to start the second one of these or finish the other socks I got on the needles for Simon, which I just started the second sock. So I decided to finish these. So that's where I was when I filmed last week, I believe. And I finished this. This was knitted toe up. I finished this in the car. Yes, I finished this in the car on the way up on Thursday last week, because I had my little tin, Notions tin, in the tote bag in the back of the car, and I ended up doing a sewn bind off, cast off, using a knitting needle. Normally you do it with a sewing needle, but I did it using the knitting needle because I wanted to do it in the car, because I still had quite a bit of driving left to do, and I thought if I cast this off I can cast on for the second sock. All my other stuff was in the back of the car, and I wasn't going to ask someone to stop just so I could get it out of the back of the car, because that would not have gone down very well. So I cast off using a knitting needle for sewn bind, cast off, sewn bind off, sewn cast off, which you normally do with the sewing needle. I've done it with a knitting needle before, and it's a bit slower, but it works just fine. So maybe I should do a tutorial on that sometime, I don't know. So finished the first sock, cast on for the second sock. Just taking all my markers off. Knitted, I don't know how much, on Friday. Maybe like half the foot or something, I can't remember. And then we went to the show on Saturday morning, and it was so cold. We woke up on Saturday morning and it was 1 degree outside, and we had to scrape the car. We left about 8, I guess. It wasn't like we left at 6 in the morning. We had to scrape the car. It was so cold. And I had decided to wear a skirt. It was a long skirt, but I had just trainers and trainer socks on. I didn't bring ties because I thought it won't be that cold. And it was freezing, and my bottom of my legs were cold all day, and my feet were a bit chilly. So I planned to take my other socks, the summer socks, to knit on at the show, because I thought if I knit on these I'm going to get to the heel, and I didn't want to do the heel and stuff at the show. So but then I thought, Saturday morning, I thought if I knit on these and it's not very busy, and I knit on these all evening as well, maybe I can finish them and wear them on Sunday. Well, that didn't work out. I'll tell you why. So I knit on these. It was very quiet for the first couple of hours, and I think both Simon and I were thinking, oh, this is going to not go well, because it was so quiet. They have, I think for the first 2 hours you can only come in if you have pre-booked tickets. Since they did the first kind of couple of shows back after COVID, where they had to restrict the entrances because they were only allowed to allow so many people in every half an hour, every hour, or whatever it was. They've stuck with that because it does help to ease the flow. You used to get very crowded in the morning, and I think they just feel like that eases the flow a bit. So the only ones who can come in between 10 and 12 are people who pre-booked their tickets. Then after 12 you can buy tickets on the door or pre-book them. But the first 2 hours were very quiet, and I think we were both a little bit worried by the time we got closer to midday. First hour is usually quiet, but usually picks up in the second hour, and it was still very quiet. And then it got really busy. Just as I decided I was getting hungry and I started eating my sandwich, it got really busy and it took me 2.5 hours to eat my sandwich. So I think I managed to get almost to the heel in the first couple of hours, and then knitting got put away, sandwich got put away. It took me 2.5 hours to eat my sandwich. You have like one bite, serve 5 customers, one bite, serve 10 customers, that kind of thing. That's what it's like doing shows. It's fine. And then it got really quiet in the afternoon. So the last hour, 2 hours is usually quiet. So I did a bit more knitting. And then Saturday night we went out with our friends. We took them out for a meal. So we were out all evening. And I did take my knitting, but I didn't knit anything in the pub because the chairs weren't that comfortable and it was a bit dark in there. We've had a really lovely night out with our friends. So no, I didn't finish these. But when we started to drive home on Monday, I was here. So I took these back to the show with me on Sunday morning and didn't knit any Sunday morning because I was teaching at 10:30 and the show opened at 10. So I was teaching, taught 2.5 hours. When I came back to the store, it was quite busy. And it was busy. It got quiet the last couple hours. The last couple hours on a Sunday is always really quiet. If you want to browse in peace and quiet, that's the time to go. Obviously, that you do risk that some of the stuff you want has sold out, but it's very quiet. So I did a bit more knitting then, did a heel and the gusset. I've done short row heel, but I've done a bit of a gusset here to get more stitches across here because I need that. So when we were driving home on Monday, I'd got to here. Then I finished the rest of that on the drive home on Monday. Sam did most of the driving. I drove for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then Sam did the rest of it. So these are done. Really happy with them. I haven't worn them yet. I nearly wore them last night because I wear socks in bed every night, and our washing machine broke down in August, and we were supposed to get a new washing machine last week, and it got cancelled on the day it was due to be delivered, and then we had to order a new one from a different place, and that got delivered yesterday. So, and I haven't been able to wash any socks. We've been taking clothes up to my father-in-law to wash, but I didn't want to wash socks in his machine. So I've just done my first load of socks this morning, and I was down to like one pair of socks to wear at night. So these will be going in my sock drawer in a minute. And then these, let me just put these on the sock blocker quickly. These are the socks I was knitting for Simon in August. July, August, I don't know when I cast these on. That's the first one. And I can't remember how far I got on the second one now. I cast on, not very far. I cast on for the second one before we left for YarnAddict because I thought I would probably take this with me to knit on at the show, and then I didn't. I took the other one. So I'd done like maybe 4 rounds before we left. I think I worked a little bit on this in the car on the way home. I can't remember if I finished the second sock in the car or finished it when we got home, but I have done a few more rests. I've probably done like the purple stripe, and then I've done the rest, but I haven't done a lot on that. So this will become my out and about knitting over the next month, and hopefully I'll finish it before I go to Norway in early November. And so this will be my out and about knitting for the next month. Next week I'm teaching a workshop on my Diamonds Are Forever Feral cushion. It's quite big. I haven't got it here because I've lent it to the organisers to promote a workshop, and it's quite big. It's 35 by 35 centimetres. And when I've taught it before for a full day, people haven't managed to get very far into the pattern. So I bought a 25 by 25 cushion, and which is this size, and thought that's a little bit too small. It's not that pattern, but it's that size cushion. So I bought a 30 by 30 cushion, and that is better. So I decided to knit. I was going to knit my Diamonds Are Forever pattern and make it smaller, but then I thought, well, if I'm going to knit it a new sample, I might as well just knit a new pattern. So I designed this heart pattern like that, and I'm knitting with West Yorkshire Spinners, Colour Lab DK in Cerise Pink and what's the grey one called? Silver Grey. I had both of those in my stash. I think I said last week that I had started with a variegated pink and green colour. When I remembered I had this pink, I went and got that and ripped that and cast on again. But I can't remember that was before last week's podcast or afterwards. But I was knitting on this in the evenings while we're in Yorkshire. So Thursday night, didn't knit a lot on Thursday night because by the time we got there, we'd had dinner and stuff. We sat at the dinner table for quite a while chatting. So I knitted probably a little bit, but not a lot. We stayed up a bit too late. Knitted a bit on Friday night. Saturday night we went out, so I didn't knit at all. And then a bit on Sunday night. And then I've been knitting on it since I came home. So I'm halfway through, I think, the second repeat. Once I finish this repeat, I'm actually going to sew the bottom edge together so that to stop it curling up, and just check that it fits the cushion. When I knitted the original Diamonds Are Forever cushion, I did try starting with a close cast on like you would for a top sock, for example, and I wasn't happy with it. It wasn't that, I didn't find it that easy with that number of stitches to knit in around, so I just cast on for normal and then sew the bottom edge together. So I'm going to do that once I finish this repeat, so that I can actually check that it fits the cushion. And I was hoping to have this ready next week for this workshop as an alternative pattern, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's going to be too much. Yesterday all my knitting was on this, and I do find stranded colour work all the time a bit hard to knit because I have to look at it more. So when I knit other things, I don't have to look at it all the time. Even lace knitting and brioche knitting, I'm not looking at it all the time. But with stranded colour work, I do have to look at it all the time. I just close my window, my curtain, because it's a bit brighter outside, and it does funny things to the light in here. So I knitted with this yesterday, all my knitting time yesterday, and my neck was hurting a bit. So I'm going to cast on for something else today. This afternoon, I think I normally do a couple hours of knitting in the afternoon before dinner, so I'm going to try and focus on this and not scroll on social media too much, because that's also my main social media scrolling time when I tend to check Twitter and stuff. So I'm going to try and avoid doing that and knit on this, and then this evening I will cast on for something new. I did a video last week where I was talking about the Truly Hooked advent calendar. It's hanging up on my wall. I'm not going to get it down, but I showed you this swatch. Did a video Tuesday last week, I think it was, where I talked about what my plans are for like the next few projects basically. And I've been thinking about it again this morning. There's another project I really want to make first, but I wanted to get this pattern done and out in time for this year's advent calendars, which are probably going to be starting to arrive fairly soon. I'm assuming most people won't open them till December. So I really like this pattern to be out by kind of, well, definitely end of November, but preferably like middle of November. But because I'm away in November for 2 weeks and I'm not taking my laptop to Norway with me, I don't think. I can do some work on my parents' laptop, but I can't use my pattern layout program on my parents' laptop. So my plan is to cast on for this. I'm going to do the calculations this morning, cast on for this evening, and aim to finish that and write the pattern and get it off to my tech editor before I go to Norway. I might actually just write it in Word rather than in the program I normally use, so that I can send the pattern to her. Is that too dark? No, that's better. So I can send the pattern to my tech editor, and then I can deal with any edits while I'm in Norway. Then when I come back at the middle of November, I can just copy it into my program and publish it. So that's the plan. So I'm going to put that on my laptop so I don't forget it. So the program I really want to knit is this project. So I've knitted a swatch this morning, and it might not look very exciting. I haven't finished it. I just started and I took my knitting break earlier, so I'm still partway through the swatch. And what have I done with the rest of the yarn? Oh, it's here. So I did a design which I talked about. I showed a picture of it last week in that What Shall I Knit Next video. And it was out beginning of last year, I think, so it must be nearly about 2 years since I knitted it. And I used these it's actually 5 colorways, but I don't know what's happened to the 5th one. I might have a quick through my leftover box and see if it's accidentally ended up in there. But I have these 4 left, and they are from Orchidean Luxury Yarns, and it's a gradient, and it's the base is this yak yarn, and this is also left from that, and I think this altogether is about 100 grams. No, it's more than that. Altogether I have 300 grams, and I have this one which is from Belinda at the Knitting Hotel. She calls it warm cobblestone, and it's 60% superwash merino, 20% silk, 20% yak, and I'm pretty sure that's the same base as this one from Orchidean Luxury Yarn. It's the undyed colorway. And I just waited before I started filming, and I have just over 300 grams, so it should be enough for what I want to do. But I might tomorrow, sorry, Friday, when I'm at the Knitting Hotel, if Belinda has more of these, I might just get another skein to make sure I don't run out of yarn, or I might leave it and get it next time I go, because I'm going in 2 weeks as well. So I'm swatching for that at the moment. I haven't decided whether I'm just going to do it in stocking stage or whether I'm going to do some lace. I actually want to do some colour work. I have an idea for a colour work pattern, which I think would work really well. But the shape of the design, I wanted to kind of come down to my elbows, and I want the top to be knitted the full bit, so from elbow to elbow, and then to the underarms, and then knitted in the round. I wanted it to be like a sort of layering piece to wear over a long sleeve t-shirt, and I really like to finish it before I go to Norway on the 4th of November, because I thought it'd be perfect to wear traveling, like at the airport, on the plane, things like that. Although Stansted Airport would probably be too hot. And then when we're in Norway, because I do get quite hot, I'm on HRT now, which is helping a little bit, I think, but not drastically. And I basically have hot flushes whenever I move, which is very frustrating. And when we go shopping at my parents' local shopping centre, which is where they do all their grocery shopping, wearing a winter coat is too hot because you're inside and the heating is on. It's quite warm in there. But obviously going in the car and walking in from the car park is quite cool. And it is, you know, it's not indoor temperatures in there, but it's warm enough. It's not warm enough to not be wearing anything, but it's too warm for me to wear a winter coat. And I can't take 2 coats with me because I'm traveling with hand luggage only, possibly only traveling with a backpack only. So I thought this would be perfect because it'd be a kind of layering piece. When we go grocery shopping, which my parents do nearly every single day, I can wear it. And when we go to like the local bigger shopping centre a couple of towns away, which we'll probably do, well, I definitely want to go there at least once. And I find wearing a coat in there gets too warm, but not wearing anything other than a long sleeve t-shirt is a bit chilly. So I'll probably wear it then. So I can see myself wearing it a few times. So I was thinking about just doing stocking stitch and some stripes. And then I thought this colourwork pattern, but I would want the colourwork pattern on the top, and the top will be worked back and forth. And I won't do colourwork on the wrong side row because I don't like it. I might swatch it in a minute and see. I might, because it wouldn't be colourwork on every row. Maybe I will consider doing it, but I don't like doing colourwork on the wrong side. And I don't want to stick it, which is what I would normally do, but I don't want to do that. So I'm thinking I could either do this top bit solid and the colour work on the bottom half, or I can do it in the round, but I do think the colour work would look better on the top. I'm also thinking about a lace pattern on the top, so because I'm worried about doing the whole thing in stocking stitch might get a bit boring. So I need to think about that over lunch and swatch a few things and try and make a decision. I've just had a notification on my phone. Our new washing machine, which is a Samsung washing machine, which I've never had before. I didn't know they did washing machines. It has an app that comes with it, and because I've got a Samsung phone, it links on my Samsung Smart Things app, and I get a notification when a cycle is finished. And I don't know whether you can hear it because it's downstairs, but it plays like a 30-second tune when it's finished. And it's just been playing it while I've been talking, but I also got a notification on my phone saying, and on my watch saying it's finished. So I'm finding the musical abilities of this washing machine a little bit annoying, and I probably need to see if there's a way I can turn that down to just a beep at the end, because this 30-second tune is a bit too much. Let me know if you've got a washing machine that does that, and do you have one that's linked to your phone on an app? I can see it being useful if we're out and about and we want to switch it on. If I can do it, I haven't worked out how to do that yet, and I guess I know now it's finished, so if I wanted to, after I finish this, I can run downstairs and put it in the tumble dryer, but I also don't really see why I need to have an app on my phone. And yes, I could have not connected it, but I thought yesterday, well, let's just see how this works and see how much this will annoy me. So yeah, anyway, that's a distraction. So I don't know what to do about this project yet. I'm probably going to try and cast on at some point this week, maybe on Sunday, because Sunday I'm going to be really tired after this week and Friday and Saturday, and I want to have a quiet day on Sunday because I got a really busy week again next week. So I'm thinking that would be a nice project to cast on Sunday. Just some quite easy knitting, because I'm going to be home alone all day. Oh, lights playing all kinds of tricks on it. It's obviously sunny outside now, but I'm going to be home alone all day Sunday, so I need to walk the dog, and then I'm probably just going to sit and knit and watch Netflix for most of the day and try and sort out and unpack and put my yarn away. So there may be 2 new projects next week. We'll see. Okay, let's crack on because this video is getting long. So let's go through what I got at Yarndale. I got 3 things, but I only bought 2 of them. So let's do the boring bit first. So I got a Chow stainless steel red lace circular 8cm long 2.5mm needle. This is what I use for socks for Magic Loop, and I used to have 2. I've lost one of them. I have no idea where it is, and last time I did a show at Wonderful in Wales in April, I thought I must get another one. I normally get them from Pearlessence because I know they do the full range, and I forgot, and then I've been meaning to order it and I just haven't gotten around to it. And Pearlessence were in the same aisle as me, a few, I don't know, 100 meters, a couple 100 meters down from me. So on Sunday morning I just ran down there just for opening time and said I need this. So got that. I'm going to take the needle out actually and take it downstairs with me and put it in my knitting kit. So got that because I needed it. Not very exciting, but I needed it. And then I have wanted one of these for ages. I think there's a few different brands to do this, and I think you can get like cheap versions from certain Chinese internet shops, which I'm not buying from. One starting with a T, which mines the information off your phone, so be careful. According to what I've heard, and I will not buy anything from them. But I saw the knitting gift shop. They were opposite Pearlessence, and we walked past it every day when we were arriving at the show and leaving the show, and I spotted this on their back wall. So after I'd been to Pearlessence, I went across the aisle and had a look at it, but they weren't there, the owners, so I wasn't able to buy it, and I had to get back because it was about to open. So I ran back in the afternoon and said I just want to go and get this, and they had one with a purple handle and they had pink handle. And when I came back in the afternoon, both those colours were gone. I was like, don't you have any pink and purple left? And he said, yes, we do. So he found me one. And I ended up going for the purple one. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should have asked if he would sell me just the handle separately and get the pink one as well. But I really like the purple. And it is basically one of these. So I think a few different companies sell them now. I've seen one on social media from an American company, which is quite expensive. I think it's a little bit fancy looking than this, but it's quite expensive. So this all comes apart, so you can fold it flat and everything. But basically you take this off. Hang on. See if I can do it. There we go. And then if you wanted to put it flat and store it, you can just take that off. And then you get a ball that's been wound into like a center pull ball. This is where George Spinner's signature 4-ply from a few years ago, their Christmas colorway from a few years ago. And you just basically push it down on like that, put the handle back on. Hang on. I haven't quite got the hang of the handle yet. It's easy to do, it's just, there we go, like that. And then you can knit from this, and it just swivels around and your yarn don't get tangled. So perfect if you want to knit standing up, walking around, stuff like that. My husband kind of, when Simon went, "You're not going to walk around knitting, are you?" And I was like, "No, I'm not going to do that." I know of people who will walk and knit at the same time. I am quite clumsy and I would be worried about falling over if I did that. So I'm not going to do that. But there might be times, especially at shows and things, where I stand around in it. And I have loads of bags so you can hang from your wrist and things, but I've seen these and I quite like them. And even just like sitting on the beach in the summer, I could hang this on my sun lounger or in the garden and knit off it, or walking just in the house. I could just put that on my wrist and knit off it. I like buying knitting gadgets. This is one I've seen around for a while and not had yet, and I fancy trying it, and I really like it. It's £15, so not very expensive. They did give me a discount, so I do want to declare that, but I was going to buy it anyway for £15, but they gave me a discount because they're lovely people at the knitting gift shop, and I really like it, and I'll link them below if you fancy going and getting one. I'd rather get one from them than certain cheap Chinese shops. Okay, so that's all I bought at Yarndale. So I didn't buy any yarn, but I did bring some yarn back with me. So I saw lots of people at Yarndale, spoke to several other stallholders, loads of regular customers, new customers, people who are watching me here on YouTube and follow me on social media. Thank you very much to everyone. I really appreciate your support. But Miriam from the Discreet Unicorn was there as well. Now I used her yarn, where is it? This yarn for the hat that I showed off 2 weeks ago maybe, and a cowl, a Mobius cowl. This is the one I used for Mobius cowl because this is the DK, and then I used the 4-ply version for that for the hat. And obviously because I just knitted that in the last month, I've talked about it a lot on social media, and I got those 2 skeins from Miriam earlier in the year. I've also ordered her DK advent calendar for this year, and she gave me this. Oh, this is so gorgeous. I did a little bit of a squeal, I think, when I opened it. So this is another pink. It's not the same pink as what I've used before. This is Barbie pink. This is called Princess, but it's the silver sparkle sock. So the same yarn I used for the hat, but it's a darker pink than that. But it has the sparkle, and I just love this. So talking about this sweater I want to do with this yarn, because I really like these pinks as well. I was thinking maybe that, but if you're watching the video I did last week where I was talking about what am I going to knit next, what shall I knit next, Tuesday last week, I had a light grey alpaca something yarn that I had left over from when I used to do hand-dyed yarn that I want to knit with something, and I am thinking about maybe using that with that, because that would look really cool. And I have 3 skeins, so if I added in this, that would be enough. Or I order more of this and I do a whole sweater in this, or I just do some kind of neck accessory in it. I don't know, but I just love this colorway. I think that would look really good on me in a whole sweater cardigan. I don't know, I love it. This is just such a gorgeous color. But because I have a couple of things I want to knit first, I'm just gonna mold this over for a while. But I do love that colorway. I like this colorway. I think I like this more. This is just gorgeous. Love that kind of bright pink, and I do think it looks quite good on me. Anyway, if you're watching, Miriam, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It's just, I was introduced to, oh, the light's gone funny again. I was introduced to Miriam's yarns, the Discreet Unicorn, by some of the guests at the Knitting Hotel. So I've got them to thank for that, and I looked it up and I thought, oh, bright neon yarns, love it. And then I didn't order anything for a while, and then eventually I ordered, and I'm getting her advent calendar this year, which I'm really excited about. So I did bring back some yarn, but that was a gift. So thank you very much to Miriam, and thank you to everyone who came by to say hello at Yarndale and to shop and chat. And for those knitters who were in my online workshop, it was great seeing you, and I really appreciate it. I have lots of workshops coming up this autumn. I've gone through them in a few other videos, so I'm not going to go through them again, but just if you are around next 2 weeks, I got a number of workshops in Liscott in Cornwall for 3 Bags Full. I will link 3 Bags Full website below and you can go and have a look. I've got a workshop on, I think it's 29th of October at Spinny Yarn where I'm teaching my glamour clutch and colour clutch. So if you're interested in that, that's in Bovey Tracy in Devon at Spinny Yarn. Losing my voice now, just because I've been talking too much. And then I am teaching finishing techniques at Stitch Fest in Newton Abbot on the 2nd of November. So all of them are on my website. I'll link that below. Go and check it out if you're interested. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Do check out Tuesday's Vlogtober video if you want to see more from Yarndale and what my store looked like and all that kind of stuff. And do check out the Vlogtober video this Saturday. And I will let you know via my newsletter when my online shop is back up and running. So do make sure you subscribe at yarnaddict.co.uk or there's a link below this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.